Lord and parts of the qualities of the Lord. Parts like under the seven principles of this. These seven statements for incorporating this ISKCON. It says that we are parts and parcels of the qualities of the Lord.
Yes.
That's what I want to understand. That word.
I was just speaking about it.
Qualities of the Lord and directly parts of the Lord. What would be the difference? Parts of the Lord and parts of the qualities of the Lord. When we say Mamai Vansho, that means directly we are part of the Lord, and qualities of the Lord is some one of the characteristic of the Lord.
Yeah, like we have consciousness. God has consciousness. Bhaga means qualities, opulences. So we have the same qualities as Krishna. We have strength. We have wealth. But very beauty, whatever it is, knowledge, but very, very small quantity. If we're part and parcel, we have, just like you take a cake, a nice round cake, you cut it in half, you cut it in 4, cut it in 8, cut it 16, keep on cutting. Then you take a piece of that cake and you eat it, and oh, it's so nice, sweet and fluffy, creamy, whatever. But then you're not satisfied, you want another piece, and another piece, and another piece. And actually you'll only be satisfied if you eat the whole cake. At least that's my mentality. So we have the qualities, but in very small quantity. But the whole has all the full quantity. That is God.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Did Srila Prabhupada knew that this movement would spread in the beginning when we created this society? Did he knew in heart that it will happen, or you said that Krishna told him, a very big man?
No, I'm just speculating.
Oh.
We never asked Prabhupada. But I'm saying that why would Prabhupada write such a thing at that time? You had to have some foreknowledge, some intuition.
Prabhupada also said a few times, my disease is that I think big.
Yes.
And he expected us to have the same disease.
Oh, there were so many things Prabhupada asked us to do very early on. We once went to, we took Prabhupada to Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, which is a very beautiful place. They have trees and shrubs and plants from all over the world growing, and it's very nice. We performed a drama there. We thought, you know, that this is like Vaikuntha. background. So as a result, then Prabhupada asked me, he said, I want you to write a letter to the Parks Department and that they should donate a portion of this park so we can build a temple here. This very nice place. So they should give, you write them. And I, you know, prime property. I'm going to write a letter, an International Society for Krishna Consciousness, you know, who is that? And that you give us a few acres of this. I wrote a letter. The Parks Commissioner was, his name was Hoving, Mayor Lindsay, under his administration. He actually replied me saying that we can't do this. Then Prabhupada asked us to very early on, Prabhupada was invited to, there was a demonstration at the United Nations for something, World Peace Day or something. And Prabhupada went there and saw the United Nations. And then Prabhupada asked me that you write to the United Nations and ask them that they should give us an office in the United Nations. And in that office we're going to have kirtan and distribute prasadam to all the delegates. And so we tried for that. We actually were working on it with this one devotee, Purushottam especially. And we were going to get an office in the UNESCO. It's right across the street from the UN building. United Nations, I don't know what UNESCO is. Science or something, education, but they had all NGOs that have an office in their building, but I don't know, it never really happened. It was very expensive to rent. Yes.
In the stage of anartha nivritti, as a practicing devotee, we tend to become more conscious of what are the bad things we have to handle than becoming conscious of the fact what you mentioned about part and parcel of Krishna. So how do we balance humility with that understanding?
Oh yeah, that's what I remember now. What I once asked Prabhupada. How do you become humble? I'm not humble, but how do you become humble? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to chant the holy name, you have to have a humble state of mind. How to become humble? So I'm asking you.
I remember when Prabhupada said, God is great and I am insignificant. So it keeps me on humble mode.
How insignificant? What's that? What is that? Huh? That's a phone? Really? Cool. No, Prabhupada replied me, he said, you're 1/10,000th the tip of the hair. You're nothing. You're 1/10,000th the tip of the hair. That's who you are. So you're very insignificant, very small, very tiny. So you have to be humble when you understand what you are. Humility automatically comes. You don't have to cultivate it, do some yoga or something. He said, understand what you are. There's that story, Prabhupada's talking with Tamal Krishna Goswami, and he's describing the spiritual universe, all the lokas, the planets, and then the material universe, and all the planets. Then there's the Earth planet, and then all the continents, and then all the cities, and then there's Los Angeles, huge city, and then in Los Angeles there's a temple, and in that temple is one Tamal Krishna Goswami, and he's thinking he's very important. It's always good when you fly in an airplane, you look down and you see how small everything is, how insignificant. So, okay. Any other questions? Yes.
I wanted to know something about how Prabhupada wanted some educational centers, our educational centers, to propagate our literatures, our all education.
The Gurukul,
or if anything else, Prabhupada, I don't know.
Well, then he established Bhaktivedanta Institute. Well, he considered also the temples to be educational. He always called us students. Sometimes disciples, but mostly students. So therefore we have, yes?
I was told that in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada said, very much liked the Gurukul building because he had the younger Gurukul students and he had his older Brahmachari students. But they were all his students.
Who were the older Brahmacharis?
The Brahmacharis. There were a few Brahmacharis at that time.
In the temple or in the Gurukul?
No, in the temple. They had the Brahmachari ashram
Oh.
separate from the Gurukul ashram.
Yeah.
But he liked it because all the students were living in one building.
Yes. That land was not originally part of the temple, the land where the Gurukul building is. That was given by Bhagati. Where's his house? It's right over here. He used to come every day and talk with Prabhupada. Every day. I didn't like it. I thought, oh, he's coming to disturb Prabhupada. Who's this man? And they would talk in Hindi, so I didn't know what was going on. But Prabhupada saw him every day, and every day they would talk. And then one day he signed over the papers and gave the land. Such a valuable. There's that photo of Prabhupada installing the Gurukul plaque. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki! Srila Prabhupada ki! Srila Prabhupada ki! Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskachara Disatara.